Here we are. I thought I would do a special little video for you guys today. It's day 12 of the Jackson trash crisis, the self-inflicted gunshot wound courtesy of Chokwe Antar Lumumba, the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, and his very merry band of misfits from Detroit. They've come down here and they have screwed up the water. They have screwed up the crime, even worse. They have screwed up the trash. So I thought we would listen to him finally figure out a way after 12 days, well, this was 11 days yesterday, to blame it on racism. You knew it was inevitable. You knew it was inevitable. I have the video here. I've been waiting on pins and needles for this. So I'm going to narrate this press conference here for you all's entertainment. Here is Honorable Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba.
I think it's both fair and accurate to say that the people of Jackson have been failed today.
Oh, that's a damn understatement.
And I want to make it clear that when given the opportunity to negotiate on an agreement that picks up our residents' trash, what council members decided to do instead was to talk about their personal feelings.
What he's fixing to spend 15 minutes doing, we're not going to listen to the whole thing.
Not the feelings of residents, not the feeling of people who may have somebody who has medical conditions that they have human waste that they have to deal with each and every day. Not the condition of residents who are steadily becoming sicker each and every day. The issue of the rodents that may be coming to your home and maybe invading your business, invading your property. They chose to talk about.
Are we talking about rodents like rats and cockroaches, or are we talking about Chokwe Antar Lumumba voters invading our homes or businesses? Because I think that's really one and the same, isn't it? Look, let's continue.
About personal feelings. I want to be clear that I didn't even participate in that discussion. I was present if there was a question asked of me, but we let that negotiation take place. And to be honest, this is what it's always been. This has been personal. It hasn't been.
It's been personal. Clearly, it is personal with you, the way you have gone and fought for Richard's disposal. I want somebody to fight for me, like Chokwe has fought for Richard's disposal.
What's best for the residents of Jackson. It hasn't been, well, what is the lowest and what provides us the best? It's been about, I don't like you. I don't know you.
Touche.
I know them. And to be quite honest, it's been about race. Let me say that.
Here it is. Here it is. You got the blackest city in America per capita. You got the blackest mayor in America, self-proclaimed. And you got a very, very, very hardcore Democrat supermajority city council, mostly all black, with the exception of one girl I think maybe mixed and one white guy and a white liberal lady. So I don't know about all that. Anyway, it ain't no racism involved except from him. But all this is black versus black. So I don't know how racism's involved. He's fixing to mention Northeast Jackson, which is still a majority black area of town. But all in all, it's still just an area of town with a fictitious name of Northeast Jackson. It doesn't have a separate mayor. It doesn't have separate rules. It doesn't have separate anything. And he lives there, mind you. Let's continue.
And I'm not the one who's introducing race. Race has been all in this. See, when you have so-called North Jackson leaders who say things like, Northeast Jackson, let's stand strong. If it was about service, if it was about how they serve the residents, then what you would say is, Jackson, let's stand strong until we have a garbage company that takes care of us all. But what it is a dog whistle.
My dog just jumped up when I started whistling. That's a dog whistle. They love echoing anything from the civil rights era, anything like that they can muster up in this false civil rights era of 2023 post-George Floyd.
It is a call to those who saying, listen, Northeast Jackson, you know who we are, right? Let's not let this black company have this contract.
Not a single person has said that. I can assure you, not a single person has said, no, Richard's just black. So they started all this blackity black stuff with the garbage thing back over a year ago when they had Pickett and Polo, Pastor Pickett and Polo, Napoleon Edwards, doing their podcast saying that it was racist to have Waste Management doing the garbage, that it was racist not to have a black company picking up a black city's garbage. They started this race conversation, and it's their narrative on everything.
In spite of the fact that they won it, in spite of the fact that they're the lowest, right? And let me be clear in this. I'm not against Northeast Jackson. I'm not against any part of it.
We're not against rap. We're not against rappers, but we are against those thugs.
Jackson, I will never make a decision that works to the detriment of one corner of the city. However, I will never work so hard for one corner of the city that it works to the detriment of the rest.
Well, he has proven that point, hasn't he? He has promises made, promises kept. He hasn't done anything for any side of the city that would negatively affect the other side. So he just chose not to do anything positive for anybody. He is an equal opportunity destroyer of cities. Yes, promises made, promises kept.
Of the city. That is my responsibility. I have to call things as they are. If I were against Northeast Jackson, let's be clear, I live in Northeast Jackson.
Allegedly.
Do I not care about my home and my family and my property value and all of those things? I care about Jackson. And so instead of taking the opportunity to talk about what we feel, what I personally feel, and when I was offended when you said this, the conversation should be about what's happening with Miss Jones. What's happening with Davis as they are looking at these issues of a public health hazard in our streets.
Living in Jackson, Mississippi, in and of itself is a public health hazard. 2 years in a row, the deadliest city in America per capita. 2 years in a row, the number one overall, not even per capita, even with the small population of around 200,000, Jackson, Mississippi has more STD cases than any other city in America. They have beat Baltimore. Good job. Good job.
So once again, I think it's fair to say that the residents of Jackson have been failed.
Yeah. We're gonna end it at that. Chokwe and I, surprisingly, we do agree. The residents of Jackson have been failed. Ladies and gentlemen, we talk about this kind of stuff every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on 103.9 FM WYAB, right here in Jackson, Mississippi. You can also download the Clay Edwards Show podcast. It's the number one most downloaded podcast in the state of Mississippi. Over 320,000 downloads in just 2 years, rapidly growing, blowing up. Check out clayedwardshow.com for more. Again, would love to see you guys listening to the show regularly and often. If you ever want to just text the show, you want to text me, you can text me any day of the week. Sponsored by my good friends out at Guns and Gear. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944. I appreciate y'all. Today is Thursday. I will be live on the radio to close out the week tomorrow, Friday, on 103.9 AM. I'm sorry, 103.9 FM from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Stay safe, stay blessed. Don't drink the water in Jackson.